Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful afternoon. The first thing I'd like to do is really express our appreciation to our university administration for making all of this possible. Dr. Hunter, thank you so much. Our Vice President, Luke Blackman, Jan Mims, Dr. Jackie Fish, all those that were a part of the process that led to today. Thank you so much. I'd also would be remiss not to thank Jamie Chadwell. 4-year record, 2 conference championships, playoff appearances, just a great job done. It was obvious to all of us around the program from the start that one of Jamie's gifts and abilities was to hire people, to recognize outstanding teachers, coaches, people would have great relationships with their athletes. It's because of that that we first looked inside the staff to see if we had our next head coach. And it wasn't hard to find an obvious answer to that question. Coach Mark Tucker, our quarterback coach, has great experience. He's an outstanding leader, and it was obvious to us that he impacted the lives of all those around him. So it's with great pleasure that I introduce our head football coach, Mark Tucker.
Welcome. Thank you for coming to this. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Most of the people in attendance here, that they know me. They've heard some of these things before, so I'll apologize for redundancy. I grew up in the city of Charleston. My father was an Air Force aviator. From roughly about 9 years, I came here when I was 2. My father and mother retired from the Air Force. We moved to Maryland. I grew up there as a teenager and went on to play college football at East Tennessee State, 1982 through 1987 as a player. Finished up as a player in '86 and was very fortunate to be given an opportunity to coach right after graduation by Mike Ayers. And I had a passion for teaching. I've been blessed in many, many ways. 4 children, and a beautiful wife, and a coach's wife, and that does exist. Went through my time at East Tennessee State, my alma mater, for 1 year, and then was fortunate enough to have an opportunity to come down and coach at the Citadel for Charlie Taft. I spent 1 year there, and then went on to head up a program in Virginia, in Chatham, Virginia, to start the postgraduate program at Hargrave Military Academy. Some things happened there that delayed the start of that program, and I moved on to another high school program in the state of South Carolina in Kingstree at a private high school called Williamsburg Academy. I was there for 2 years, and then Coach Taft called me and asked me if I was interested in coming back, and I said yes, sir. The passion for the college game, the ability to go out and recruit young men into your program. I jumped at the opportunity, and I was there in a time, initially starting in '88, that first year, and then again starting in '92, where we had a great deal of success. And up until the last couple of years was the benchmark for Citadel football in terms of record and achievement, and it was a very special time in my life, in my coaching profession, in my family's life. My son was born in Charleston. My youngest daughter was born in Florence. There are ties to Charleston, and we dearly love this city. Through that, I left after the '96 season to go back to East Tennessee State to work for Paul Hamilton, who was my quarterback coach in college. And then my wife, in our second year there, in the summer of our second year, we found out that she had a brain tumor, and she had that removed. Shortly thereafter, my mother came down to visit, and she passed away upon arriving back home in Maryland. So it was interesting to say the least. From there, I finished out the '98 season, took a leave of absence, and came back to work after Allison had passed in 2001 at East Tennessee State. And they dropped the program in 2003. I had 4 children. When my wife passed, they were 16, 14, 13, and 10. I was very well qualified for one of those jobs, my son, and I was not very well qualified for the 3 others. But I did the best I could. It was very important for us to stay where their mother had passed, in our home. And so I had an opportunity to coach after the program at East Tennessee State was dropped in 2003 and coach a professional team in what was then known as the NAFL. I didn't really know anything about it when I took over. I know there were an awful lot of, I would say, young men, grown men, that were interested in playing what was referred to as professional football. It was a very fun time. It was a very trying time because we were trying to make sure everybody got paid like they were promised. So from there, that basically shut down. I waited about a year and a half for that to be financed properly, and we couldn't get that done. So I started doing anything I could do to stay connected to the game. I had known Jamie since I came back to East Tennessee State when he was a player in 1987, or 97, excuse me. So our relationship started there. And then when Jamie took the head job at North Greenville University, coming from Charleston Southern, we'd always been connected through phone calls, but that reconnection started to grow. To speed things up a little bit, our interaction and coming down and interacting from a football standpoint became more and more and more, and we started spending an awful lot of time together. And then Jamie had great success there, along with my staff mates. They did a phenomenal job of recruiting and coaching and teaching. So not only did I develop a relationship with Jamie at that time, but I developed a relationship with basically the entire makeup of our staff as it exists right now. We knew each other's comfort level. We know each other's idiosyncrasies and have our fun and all that kind of good stuff, the things that go on within the makeup of staff. And then fast forward it, and Jamie took a job at Delta State in Mississippi. And then the transition here to Charleston Southern. Jamie always knew that what it would take for me to leave Johnson City and our home, where all those things occurred, was Charleston. It is the place where my children consider to be home, or what they consider to be their home. It's where they grew up. It's where their fondest memories of their mother actually are. And I share that memory, and I share that experience, which leads us up to the 4 years that we've been here and the unbelievable job. I said in my initial interview to Kevin O'Rourke that I felt like you could have excellence. There's no reason that you cannot have excellence on the football field, along with the excellence that you're trying to drive and strive for in the classroom and growing and developing young men, which leads us to the point where we're here today. No one will ever convince me that God's hand and his pathway is not in this, because if this is the road less traveled, or if there is a road less traveled than this one, I don't know what it could be, I don't know what it is, but I don't want to see it, because I know what this one was like. This is a blessing. This is the grace and mercy of Almighty God. It's my heart and my mind that that is fact, not conjecture. I'm excited about what we have to offer these young men and continue to do not only what Jamie Chadwell led us, because the one thing about being a head football coach is if it's going wrong, you're accountable for it all. You got to answer for it all. And when it's going well, you get the luxury of accepting all those things. And he earned everything that has come his way. The gentleman that I've had the opportunity and the pleasure to coach with over the last 4 years, every day, I love dearly. And we've grown incredibly close. And they are men and they are teachers. And that is an experience that I will take with me for as long as I draw breath on this planet. They're good people, and they're good families, and they're good men. And there's a reason that the young men in our charge have done the things they've been able to do, because it's about direction and leadership and focus. And Jamie Chadwell's constant mission to find a different way every day to communicate purpose and discipline and the mission at hand and how to be driven. All right. Those things I'm going to take with me. I'd like to believe that Jamie learned a great deal from me through 19 years. I can tell you without a doubt that I learned a great deal from him. I do believe this, that leadership, it's not title and it's not position. It's about action and it's about example. And by that I mean, if you're not willing to serve, then you have no business leading. And that is what we have been able collectively to do under Jamie's leadership here. He kept us on task. And I feel very comfortable with our young men and our staff, whatever it may be, that we're going to be able to continue that. And that's our mission. And I want to thank everybody sincerely for coming out here and spending this time with me. You don't get many opportunities to do this. And by the grace of God, I'm getting an opportunity to do this right now. And my brothers and the young men that we coach, when I say my brothers, I'm saying my staff mates. Because everything we do collectively, every decision we make, it would always affect every wife. Not only the guys in the room, it would affect every wife, which ultimately means it affects every child. Those are big deals. And I don't take them lightly. So I said the other night when we got an opportunity to talk to the team, and I believe it wholeheartedly, we just don't talk family here. We live it out. And that's truth. And I thank you very much.